Lieutenant General Emmanuel Bautista has assumed this post as the new Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff Thursday in a turnover rites held at Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City. The ceremony was led by President Benigno Aquino III. The new AFP chief meantime vows to continue internal peace and the security plan Bayanihan, which aims to normalize the situation in insurgency-stricken areas. Bautista also vowed to fight against external threats by improving AFP's capabilities.
I pledge that I shall lead the Armed Forces of the Philippines pursue two major undertakings, namely the fulfillment of our constitutional mandate and the pursuit of security sector reform initiatives. Our Constitution has bestowed on us the distinct title of being the protectors of the people and the state, with the goal of securing the sovereignty of the state and the integrity of the national territory. We intend to fulfill this constitutional mandate through the following trust: winning the peace, securing our national territory, and assisting in disaster response and rehabilitation.
Newly appointed Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Emmanuel Bautista, has vowed to pursue with vigor the government's counter-insurgency campaign through the continued implementation of the Internal Peace and Security Plan, or Bayanihan. Bautista said Bayanihan would be his pet project as he urged those involved in the armed struggle to give up their fight in order to allow the country to move forward. Bautista will assume the top AFP post Thursday. Bautista is the 37th Army Chief to be appointed as the AFP Chief of Staff and the 4th under the Aquino administration.
The Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, urged the government of President Benigno Aquino III for constitutional amendment or charter change to properly implement the Bangsamoro Framework Agreement. MILF spokesperson Mohager Iqbal said the group believed that Chacha should now be considered, further adding that they will be proposing possible amendments for the Constitution as the need rises. The official, meantime, did not give any time frame for the possible talks with the government's peace negotiator regarding the annexes of the framework. Manny Pacquiao will not file a legal complaint against Dr. Rustico Jimenez, saying that he has already forgiven the president of the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines. Jimenez, basing his claims from his own personal observation and not from personal examination, said that Pacquiao has been showing early warning signs of Parkinson's disease through his hands and speech during and after his fourth fight against Juan Manuel Marquez last month. But while Pacquiao will not file a complaint, the 8th Division champion said that Jimenez could still face investigation from the Philippine Medical Association.
With only 9 days left before the election campaign period, the freedom of information is in danger of not passing the readings of the Congress. FOI proponent and Bayan Muna Representative Teddy Casino admitted the bill is on the ropes as several Solons have inserted delaying tactics in the guise of amendments. Casino added that the proposed amendments are also meant to lessen the impact of the important provisions of the FOI bill. The bill was made to create more transparency by publicly disclosing more important government documents.
Ang mas importante yung FOI bill precisely is to expand yung access to information to include even the critical documents, yung mga minutes ng meetings, yung mga recommendations that go into the decision making, yung mga human rights records, yung mga many things that agencies consider confidential, no? Even yung draft ng mga memo, draft ng mga circulars, precisely yun yung nilagyan ng exemption, no? And
a fire of undetermined origin hit Makati residential area Barangay Poblacion Thursday afternoon. According to the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, the fire has reached Task Force Bravo as of 2:36 p.m. and hit the area along A. Bonifacio Street. The Makati City government, however, pinpointed the location of the fire at the corner of Mabini and Bonifacio streets. There were no initial reports of injuries as of 2:50 p.m. and arson investigators are seeking leads on what caused the fire.
Ang pinagmula ng apoy nito ay sa 2983A Bonifacio Street, Poblacion, Makati City. Ang nakatira dito ay si Mr. Emilio Brescio, 47 years old. Residential po ito, 15 to 20 houses ang involved. Agmula ang sunog na ito ay sa second floor ng house ni Emilio Brescio.
Due to the increasing cost of private healthcare as well as the dwindling quality of public hospitals, Filipinos have been encouraged to take preventive actions through acquiring healthcare insurance. Major Healthcare Insurance Corporation assured to Filipinos responsive customer care unit, stress-free availment process, personalized assistance, and comprehensive wellness campaigns.
Have to go around in a hospital to look for doctors or laboratories or other questions that they may have about their membership. In these facilities, all their concerns can be taken care of.
United States President is pushing for tougher gun control measures, while the consecutive killings of young women in Guatemala sends an international condemnation. Rex Remitio reports.
United States President Barack Obama will urge the Congress to implement tighter gun control rules. The $500 million plan will require background checks for all gun sales and ban military-style assault weapons. The proposal was made after the December 2012 shooting in Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, state of Connecticut, where 26 were killed. The Republican-held Congress, however, seems to be reluctant in compromising with the plan. The Guatemalan police are probing the consecutive killings of women in their areas, mostly are children. Just recently, 4 females were found dead in a neighborhood in Guatemala City. They were aged 6 and 12 and could have been strangulated. Bodies of 2 other women were found in the same district, aged 20 and 35. One of them had been shot in the face. 2 other women were also killed overnight in the town of La Union. They were shot dead outside a school. More than 600 women were killed in Guatemala in 2010. Speculations arise that they could be victims of domestic violence or slain by criminal gangs. Women were also raped by gangs to intimidate opponents. Guatemala has had one of the highest murder rates in the world, 40 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants in 2010. Guatemala is one of the countries in Central America that serves as a gateway for drug gangs between Mexico and Colombia. For the news around the world, Rex Remitio, News Force.
Die Hard director faces imprisonment, and Les Miserables tops UK box office chart. For those entertainment news, here's Kring Lacson.
62-year-old Die Hard director John McTiernan has lost his appeal to have a 1-year prison sentence overturned for lying to the FBI about a wiretapping case. McTiernan was originally accused of lying about hiring former celebrity private investigator Anthony Pelicano to wiretap film producer Chuck Roven after they both worked in the movie Rollerball. He was sentenced in 2010 after pleading guilty to the case and had been free on bail while he appealed the conviction. However, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to review it. A judge is now expected to order McTiernan to go to prison. After serving a custodial sentence, the filmmaker will be on supervised release for 3 years. In other news, Les Miserables recorded 3-day takings of £8.13 million in the United Kingdom and Ireland, beating 2008's Mamma Mia for being the biggest UK opening for a movie musical. Les Miserables took £5.2 million in its opening weekend, with an extra £1.4 million coming from previews. Internationally, it has now taken more than $200 million. Meanwhile, Ang Lee's Life of Pi climbed to number 2 with a weekend tally of £2.34 million. Its takings exceeded those of Gangster Squad, which took £2 million. For entertainment news, Kring Lacson, News Force.
And here's a recap of today's headlines.
Here are the headlines on News Force. DILG wants probe on PAOCC connection in Atimonan killings. Palace calls for reconciliation with Catholic Church. Comelec sees nothing wrong with Aquino's tour with LP candidates. Santiago intends to file case before the Supreme Court regarding cash gift issue. Philippines retains freedom ratings. Newly appointed AFP chief vows to pursue counter-insurgency plan. Obama pushes for tough gun control plan. And Die Hard director faces imprisonment. Fair and balanced news, comprehensive reports that take you to the heart of the action. This is News Force.
Well, Lei, what do we have on our plate this afternoon?
Well, actually, Secretary Erin Tanyada said that he and his colleagues are making final amendments of the version of the compensation bill for the benefit of martial law abuse victims.
Yes, and of course this is during the Marcos era,
Yes,
and that's good news for the people who have been involved in that.
Yes.
And of course, to go into a more present time, yes, the elections are election campaigns are about to start, and we have 9 days to go, right?
Yes, and our government should really provide for a more accountable and stricter rules
Yes.
in elections or during the campaign
Yes,
period.
to make sure that we have a good peace and order,
Of
and
course.
of course all of this is something that we all need so that we would
Yes.
feel safe and secure.
Yes. For your comments, feedbacks, or videos you want to share with us, email us at info@JAN17-asia.com. We are your voice for change. Our anchors and reporters will keep on bringing you updates and latest stories. I'm Leili Wag.
Fair and balanced news, comprehensive reports that take you to the heart of the action. You are tuned in to Channel 8 on your Global Destiny cable and on GSAT Channel 1. Carried by 300 cable television operators and broadcasted via UHF stations nationwide. We are your global news network committed to nation building. I'm William Theo, and this is News Force.